In this video, we are going to learn trim and extend command. In the modify panel, you get to see a trim command, and if you click on this arrow button, you're going to see an extend command. These two commands that I find are most used in terms of when working with 2D in AutoCAD. And there's a lot of use case for trim and extend command. To demonstrate the trim command, I'm going to draw a line. So let's just draw a straight line, and I'm gonna just start a line again, and I'm going to turn off ortho mode. I'm gonna draw another line there, and let's start another line, something like that. Okay, then we're going to use arc command. I'm gonna click here and select that as a midpoint, and I'm gonna draw an arc. I'm going to select this arc, do a Control C and then Control V, and I'm just gonna paste that here. Now let's just say you want to get rid of this area. So that area that we have here, this one we want to get rid of. So the way you can do that is by using a trim command. I'm gonna select the trim command. Once I select the trim command, pay attention to the command line. It says select objects or select all. So I'm going to select all, press enter to do that. Once you do that, then I'm going to see what's the options. So I have an option for trim, but also have sub options: fence, crossing, project, edge, erase. So instead of just not worrying with these for now, I'm going to just hover my cursor here. Once I do that, you will notice that it is giving me this tooltip, which is like a cross symbol next to the cursor, which means that if I click here, it is going to remove this grayed out part. I'm going to click, and as you can see, it actually removed that part. Now, the way trim command works is it needs the intersection point or vertices. So there were two intersection points for this object. One was here, and then second one's here. Okay, so it found these two intersection point, and then it just removed that bit. If I take my cursor here and I just hover over, now you can see it's not doing anything. It's just giving you this, a mark with saying, hey, it's not going to do anything even if you click here, because this line does not have any intersection point. So if I go here, it's the same thing because no intersection point. But if I take a look at this arc here, it does have an intersection point. So we got an intersection point here, and we got an intersection point here. If I move my cursor to this arc, it is going to remove that bit. What about this area? Well, it does have that intersection as well. So it is intersecting here and then intersecting here. So if I just click here, and it is going to remove that bit. Now you can't remove this one even though I click on it. I click here, it will trim that. I can click here, click here, click here, doesn't do anything, but it removed the first two parts. Click here, no. So the trim command requires an intersection point or vertices. So let's undo. I'm going to press U and U undo a few times, and it's going to bring everything back. I'm going to remove this part. Enter. And I want to remove something in the middle. So to do that, you're going to always have an intersection point. So I'll just do an intersection point right here. And I'm going to use a trim command. The shortcut key for that is TR. And then you can see you can click or you can press enter. Now, for example, I'm going to remove this line, actually undo quite a bit. Now let's just say I am going to remove this line all the way here. So I'm going to select the vertex and I'm just going to move that here. Now I just did that by stretching the vertex and moving that here. But what about the trim command? How do we do that? Well, you can do that by selecting a reference object. I'm going to undo, and I'm going to use the TR. Press enter, Now it's asking me to select objects or select all. Remember last time when we were using trim command, we just pressed enter to select all, but not this time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this as my reference object. So it's like select cutting edges. So right now I'm going to select this one as a cutting edge, and it says select object, select all, one found. So this one is being selected. I'm going to press enter once. Once I press enter, now you will notice this is a cutting edge object now. Now if I move my cursor here, okay, as you can see, it is ignoring this intersection point now because it is not a cutting edge any longer. And it's going to just read this line as an intersection, as a cutting edge. So if I just click here, it will remove the whole line because this is what the intersection is now because we specified it. Now if I go and click here, it will remove this part. But what about this line now? So you see this line here, it has an intersection right here. But because our cutting edge is this one, it is not going to do anything, even though this is the intersection point. So that's the two things that you can do with the trim by selecting all or selecting a reference object. Usually when working with the drawing, you would just go and select everything because by selecting everything, you have a flexibility to, just quickly click and trim objects. But if you really want to specify something like, you want to specify a cutting edge, which will help you to save time, you can do that as well. One example for that would be if I just go and extend this line to like that, and I'm going to use a copy command, not Control C and V, but I'm going to use the copy command, and I'm going to press, and I'm going to just turn off this and turn on auto mode, and I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's just say you want to trim. I'm going to remove this one. Okay, so now let's just say you want to remove all of these intersection point. I just want to get rid of everything. Now if I do TR now, if I want to just remove from here to here, I'll have to just do click. You see how much time was spent to actually do that? But what if I select just a reference object? So what I'll do is I'll use a trim command, press spacebar, and I'll use this as my cutting edge. Press enter, and now I can get rid of this in one go. How cool is that? We take a look at extend command. On a modify panel, you get to see this extend. If you don't see that, make sure you click on this arrow button and you get to see extend here. So this modify panel will remember the last command you use. So if I go to trim and I'll use the trim command, and now this button has changed to trim command, I'll have to click on this and then select extend. I'm just going to hover over here and it's going to show me an example. So extend command extend objects to meet the edge of other object. So we use the trim command to trim from here to here. But what about extending? So I'll go and select the extend command. And now similar to trim command, it's asking for select object or select all. I'm going to press enter to just select all. And you get to see we got the similar kind of options: fence, crossing, project, edge. I'm going to move my cursor about here, and you'll notice it will give me the preview of the click. So if I click, it is going to extend this line to that particular part. Now there's a catch here. I'm going to press U and then zoom in a bit. Now here is a midpoint, okay? Now if I click here, it is going to extend to the next edge. But if I move my cursor to the left, it is going to extend to the left. So what's happening here? Well, AutoCAD will calculate where my cursor is. So if my cursor is on the right half of the object, it will extend to the right direction. if my object is on the left side of an object, it will extend to the left side. So I'll go and click on here and then click again, and now click again, click again, click again, and you can extend like that. But we also have a reference, so I'm going to press undo by pressing U and just remove all the actions. Now I'm going to use the extend command. I'm going to select a reference object. So let's go all the way here and select this one and press enter. Now if I move my cursor here, you'll see it is ignoring all of these objects and directly going to this one. So let's click, and you can see we got our cutting edge reference object working. We have some selection options in trim and extend command. If you take a look at our command line, it's asking me to specify fence, crossing, project, edge, and undo. I'm going to show you the fence option. So first of all, let's undo, and I'm going to select the fence option. Type F, enter, and you're going to have to create a fence. Okay. Now, fence is very useful when you are going to be using multiple objects. So I'm going to press undo, and the better example would be using trim command. So I'll use TR, enter, and I'm going to press enter again to select all objects. And then I'm going to use a fence. Instead of selecting, I can actually draw a line now. So I'm going to go and start my line from here. And as you can see the preview, I'll click again. I will go all the way up, click again, and I will come back. And I'll move my cursor a bit up. And let's get rid of this line as well. Let's get rid of this. And I'm going to remove this bit. And you can see what are the lines that are going to be removed. So every time this fence line is intersecting with any other object which has the reference for cutting edge, it will just get rid of it. Enter. And those are gone. Selection is really useful when you have a lot of objects to trim or extend.